Did you actually clap, or did you smack a book against, like, something?
No, those are my hands.
Okay.
It was a little weak, I guess, but hopefully that waveform is distinctive. Welcome to episode 151 of the Pixel Response podcast.
Yeah, we're over the hump. 150 is done. New era of podcast coming at you.
Brand new.
Coming at you live
before.
every day. Daily podcast. Oh my god.
Late
Can you
April
imagine?
20. No, I can't talk about things like, I guess daytime radio people have to do that. They just need to feign interest in whatever's going on.
Sure.
But yeah.
How many of them go
fortunately.
like reddit.com and just like read whatever is news,
Well,
basically?
Provided they're providing their own stuff, which I'm sure there's some team of like people or interns or whatever that scrape together the list of stuff for the news or whatever. But yeah, I'm sure some of it comes from Reddit of just like, hey, have you seen this video going around? It's crazy. There's a vacuum cleaner on this guy's lawn and something. I just made that up.
That's like, I was listening to the radio, like, I think it was CJ92 here in Calgary, and in the break before 6 o'clock, before, like, their top 40, whatever they fucking do or whatnot, when everybody goes home for the night, there's, like, they're trying to feign some interest in something for time, like, fill some air, and they're talking about, like, women's soccer. It's like, who fucking cares? Like, wow,
well,
you
maybe
guys
there
are
was a
grasping at straws.
tournament or something?
Maybe.
Or,
I don't know. It's stupid. But
it's an internationally loved sport.
The reason I bring this up at all is because for everybody who has been listening, I know you're all into that Hot Pocket topic, TM, and register trademark and all that sort of stuff. We were thinking about like what we could even talk about this week, and spoiler alert, there probably won't be one because nothing's really happened. And
it's just a lukewarm kind of week, It's just tepid, not even boiling at all. Just
like I even asked
easygoing week
in the Discord, like, what's fucking going on? Like, what's some controversial stuff? And then I got some dumb answers, like talk about the lumber tariff. Like, I even know what's going on with that or care. And then, like, yeah, basically, I feel bad that I even asked because, like, although it proves my point, there's nothing, like, a bunch of us couldn't even think of anything interesting.
Well, I guess just the past couple of weeks have had some, like, outrage-inducing stuff going on, and there's some stuff that could just pile on to those ones, like United mishandled something else, or Delta Airlines did something sort of. Actually, if there's anything that comes even close at all, it's, like, in rebuttal to an assertion by, like, an Air Canada quote scandal that I saw that I got really irritated with.
Okay, okay, so here you go. Here's your.
This is the warmest pocket I got. So, it was essentially like this woman had booked this trip to the Galapagos, and she had to connect through Florida from Toronto. Like, so she's flying from Toronto to Florida.
Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, I know you had to go to Miami. Ugh. No, that's not the bit. The thing that happened was she essentially booked her flight really tight with when the cruise departed. So she arrived, she checked in that morning at 8 something for her 11 a.m. flight. So within 3 hours, that's another point of it, just worth mentioning. And then, hey, we got to bump you to a later flight. Like, you checked in kind of later than these other people. Oh, no, but I have this big, expensive, elaborate trip planned, and it's my dream, and I've always wanted to do this. Okay, well...
Should have done it yesterday then, sweetheart.
Should have booked your whole plan differently. But, I'm assuming that's not what any customer service person said, but it ended up she missed the connection. She missed this trip. She was really upset, went to the media, like, whatever.
Went to the media. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just, I guess the media is interested in hot media, like hot airline related stories right now. So this one was pulled out from there and kind of brought up.
Yeah.
And the thing that kind of made me mad with how everyone was reacting to it, because like everyone was like, "Oh my god, that's horrible! Air Canada sucks. Air Canada is the United of Canada. Like, oh, Air Canada should totally pay for her vacation."
Technically, United
and it's just like
is the United of Canada. I just want to
because they operate here too. Yeah, but the thing that was is like, well, they ended up refunding her like her ticket and then some, but because of how she had booked her itinerary, it had this big consequence on the rest of her trip. But that's not their fault. Like everyone, a lot of comments were also saying like, "Hey, with any cruise, like you should probably arrive in your port of departure the day before. You should do that." Yeah. Like, this is just common sense for something so expensive that, like, don't have your, like, point of failure be on something that can shift around, like, 3-4 hours on an airplane. Like, that's not smart. So, I don't know. I was kind of irritated that this was earning so much sympathy and so much, like, outcry over something that was kind of just common sense on the person's part, you know? Like, it was just kind of, I don't know, unnecessarily hot for what happened. But it was kind of stupid. So that's all I got. Kind of stupid person manages to pile on all this airline outcry stuff. Ultimately, the tour company with the Galapagos trip and everything found out about it and like promised to reimburse her for the trip and book another one sometime down the line. So ultimately, nothing really that bad happened.
Oh, dude, for them, that's a dream scenario because they look like white knights now.
They look like heroes,
and they didn't have to do anything. They didn't lose money because she already paid for the one that she didn't get. They just moved her name over.
And then get all this... No, and that was totally working in the comments. People were like, "Oh man, this tour agency, this is great." And it's just like, you guys are so...
They're so dumb.
Easily fed. Like, I don't know. Like, it was kind of riling
that
up.
Lady...
I think I read that at work.
That lady shouldn't be allowed to, like, do anything anymore. She should be put into a home for senile people because she's an idiot.
Well, it seemed like this is mostly stupid on your part. Like, the thing that irked me right away in the story was, like, from my, like, you can check in a full 24 hours before a flight, and you probably should do that. But, like, this was just like, oh, you don't know what you're doing, because you showed up that morning and checked in within, like, every airline recommends, like, 3 hours plus, right? Isn't that kind of rule of thumb?
I mean, I've done it in like an hour before if I didn't really care.
Okay.
So
if you don't really care, like, it's like, I don't, you know, if I get there 1, I get there 5, whatever. I brought a Stephen King book, I'll be fine. Like, like, I've had flexible flight schedules before, but it's not something this contingent on it. Like, no, we're going to miss this whole thing if we don't make it there. So that was the only thing. I don't know. That was as close as it got to like me being mad at a news story. Like going through the comments and like downvoting people I hated and upvoting people that were saying what I wanted them to say. Stuff like that. Reddit passive aggression.
Standard Reddit stuff.
Yeah, standard
Speaking
Reddit.
of Reddit, I'm looking at our jokes right now, and do you want a joke from our jokes?
No, sure.
It's
yes.
pretty.
What do you got?
I mean, it's topical, which is why I clicked on it. Malaysian Airlines and United should merge. That way, they can beat their passengers, and no one will ever find out.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
It's a good one. It's on the front page.
Yep. They've only lost like what 2 planes. It's okay, you know.
Like 200% more than is acceptable.
You should. Yeah. And the one was shot down, right, by Russians?
I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
I think that was Ukraine border issue. The other one was straight up like lost mystery. Like it was pretty compelling stuff. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, I still want to know what happened to it.
I think some element of it was found, like some pieces or whatever, but I don't know. The ocean does what it will.
I don't believe in a greater power, a heaven or a hell or any of this shit when we die. But if, like, I kind of hope there is just an answer to all the questions I've ever had. Like, I just want to know, like, what actually happened. Like, where are the plane pieces that hit the Pentagon? Like, some of them or whatever. And, like, what was it? Like, I just want to know these answers to stuff that I have no idea.
Just some weird moment of clarity as you die?
No, like after you're dead or whatever. Like the world's greatest mysteries. Like, was 9/11 an inside job? Like, actually, was it? Like, just, I want the answers. I just want to know. Mm-hmm. And then I'm happy. That's all my soul will rest. If I don't get those answers, I'm going to haunt every motherfucker I've ever known.
Just come back as a ghost and haunt the Pentagon? I don't know.
And just be like, why? To everybody. Just asking the question that's been burning in my mind. Why? All the time.
Okay. I don't know how to...
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know what to do with that. I guess maybe the White House might have answers, but maybe not.
Probably not.
Who can say?
Yeah.
Probably not. Or they'll burn them, the files. I don't know.
Are you worried about nuclear war at all?
Not especially. It seems too outrageous a thing to have happen. That seemed to be the anxiety of the 60s, not now.
Well,
are you?
Well, like the 80s, right? Like Cold War.
Well, the Cold War was going on. I mean, like Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff was 60s.
Sure, yeah.
So I feel that was the peak, but I guess there was still like more weapons technically as time went on. But is that a concern for you now? Like
not particularly. Like
who's running things or North Korea's promises, threats?
Well, that's like what people keep bringing up. And maybe it's a little worrying, I guess, but like here's what I'm thinking. For us, it's probably going to be okay. I don't see them wasting a nuke on Calgary, Alberta, necessarily.
No, it would probably not. Like
the closest is Seattle, I think. Maybe Vancouver, even. Honestly, if they were to attack Canada.
My like joke answer would be Abbotsford because that's where they shot The Interview, that movie that made fun of North Korea. So if they know that, maybe they'd waste one on that.
I mean, that's still like an 10-hour drive, dog.
Probably no, I know, and there's mountains in the way and stuff. Like, I'm not saying like we'd necessarily be in danger. Like, maybe some drift of nuclear stuff or whatever. It would be pretty bad.
But like, if you were living in like Washington or like New York or something, you would. It's probably a thing that you have to think about, right? But here's the thing: is that I think you should be more worried if you live just a little bit outside of those, because the initial blast, like ground zero for where that shit would hit, you're gonna be vaporized. You're done. Like you're not even gonna know in an instant.
It happened, yeah.
It's the people that if you live have to suffer from the burns and like the whole Earth being like uninhabitable and like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's like instant cancer.
It's terrifying. It's the worst thing to think about. But like selfishly in Calgary, Alberta, where nothing happens, like maybe if they get really mad at AAA best quality beef, then maybe we have to worry a little bit. Like, maybe if North Korea's like, we don't like you guys having the best beef available, AAA Alberta beef. So,
well, I'm trying to think, like, what exports, like, or cultural exports, like, they shoot Fargo here, so if Kim Jong-un hates Fargo Season 3, maybe he'd take it out on us. I don't know.
And maybe he should, you know what? You know? Maybe he should. Yeah. If he hates it that much, maybe we fucked up where we offended the leader. Like,
why did we let this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, for the States, it's like, well, yeah, they have a retard running the government and stuff, so, like, it's hard to blame that country. But if we fucked up so badly that they're mad at Canada,
know what?
Maybe we deserve it. Maybe we do.
Between the two, though, like, I honestly just feel like North Korea is scary and kind of weird in its own way, but more for itself. Like, it's like self-harm. It's not an international threat to me, the way I perceive it, but us being the northern...
We don't know, though. That's what's kind of, like, worrisome, I think. We just don't know what they're capable of.
I guess so. Like, the reports from around that area seem to be like South Korea detecting seismic stuff and just being like, yep, another missile test failed. Like, they're just kind of interpolating it for us.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Something happened up there, but it was lame. Like, they're telling us this. But if there's any, like, world leader, like, kind of situation, it is the United States a little more so of just, like...
Oh, sure.
Would Donald Trump just be like, you know what? We're just gonna take Canada now. We're just gonna... It's ours now. We're just gonna take it. Like, there's nothing we could do. Like, military-wise...
Like,
I'd be kind of annoyed, though, because it's just such a passive dick thing. Like, it's just like, we're taking it.
But, like...
And I'd probably want to leave.
Currency that's worth something.
Oh, sure. No, there's, like, some benefits, I suppose. But, I don't know.
Travel to the States would be easier, because it's no longer considered international or across borders. It would be domestic. You know what?
But like healthcare stuff.
I welcome our new retard overlord.
No, I would hate it. I think we'd have to go somewhere else. I don't know.
Where would we go?
But I don't know where we'd go.
Like,
hey, maybe I can be like, hey, I have traceable like German heritage. Can I live there? Like, just seek asylum. Just leave.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe Europe is where to go. Merkel's place. I don't know. But, hey, speaking of Washington, actually, it kind of came to mind organically a bit for me. Okay. I told you last week I was drafted by the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
That has never been a team I've paid much attention to. So for the first little while when I was playing it, I was under this like impression. It's like, oh, cool. Yeah, I like Washington, Seattle. This is going to be great. And then it slowly kind of dawned on me that it's like, wait, I'm Eastern Conference. Oh, it's DC. That sucks. Like, I was kind of just bummed out that I was in
You're not playing Washington State. You're playing DC.
I was hoping I was Washington State.
No.
But no, it's Washington, D.C. So I was kind of bummed out that my fake guy that I invented on my PlayStation had to live in Washington, D.C.
God damn it.
It's a little poisoned, I guess. Like, I was just kind of, oh, that's too bad.
I kind of find that hilarious that you didn't recognize that.
Well, because then I was like, wait, why is there a Seattle team? I don't think there is. And then, yeah, I'm not up on my NHL stuff. Like, NHL 93, like I was saying last time, you know, Hartford Whalers, all that. That was my stuff. So,
yeah.
This is an 18-year jump. I have to come to terms that the Thrashers don't exist and all that. But, yeah. So, I essentially finished that game for myself, I think. I played through a season. We won everything. We just did incredibly well. To the point where
you had a person controlling it and not
that was actually a thing that came up. It was like there was maybe 3 games over the course of the whole season that I simulated, and every time I did that we lost, and like badly. It made no sense with like how well we were stomping around in the league when I was handling things. As soon as you hit simulate, it's just like, yeah, it was weird. The Thrashers just came back in game 2 and 5-1. And it was like, that would never happen. What are you saying? But, so, yeah, that happened. I lost to the Canadians badly once because of that. And one of my WHL games, which I actually mentioned last time because it screwed up my draft chances. Because same thing happened.
Sure.
Yeah. But if anything, I have so by the end of the season, like once we got into the playoffs and everything, I was sort of starting to get tired of it because you've just seen the same pattern of play like 80 times. So you just know how it works now. Like the same plays tend to work. Like you kind of know how to handle things. So
you see the mechanics behind the game.
Yeah. So I was starting to get kind of tired of it by the time it got to that point. And then, like, I don't know, I won the Stanley Cup this afternoon, and also a bunch of other stuff that I felt was weirdly whelming. Like, they just didn't present all this stuff in a really, like, fun, like, hey, hockey's great, right? Like, it was very, like, lukewarm kind of presentation of this stuff. I won the Hart Memorial Trophy, the Calder Memorial Trophy, and the Frank J. Selke Trophy, and it was just, like, 3 memos I got. in a menu. Like, it was just, hey, the general manager wants to talk to you. Yeah, it was incredible. You were the best rookie. Good job. Oh, okay. Hey, manager wants to talk to you again. Like, it was just like, okay, like, is there a trophy room, or, like, can I see it?
Oh,
is
that's
there
weird
anything?
that they don't have that, at least.
I don't think there's anything. Like, maybe it's buried in some menu somewhere, but there was, like, there was a little cutscene for when you win the Stanley Cup. Like, it's all your guys hanging on, like, grabbing it and skating around, and then you take a team photo. And I was kind of slightly behind a guy's finger that was raised up in the air, so I was a little annoyed at that. But, whatever. And then that was it. It was just like, hey, you won the Stanley Cup. And then you just get kicked back to, like, the calendar menu, and you just have to simulate, like, 4 months of nothing before you can play games again. I don't know. There's just little things that seem under polished or something. Like, there's just a lack of flair. And also, like, okay, like, I had a bunch of giant winning streaks throughout the season, and it really seemed like once you get to, like, 11 or 12 wins in a row, the game will kind of rubber band you back down to earth for a game.
Weird.
Like, you just can't make anything happen for a little period there. It doesn't matter what team you're playing, you won't make it work out. You will lose a game. Like, I don't know if that's just I actually do kind of suck or whatever, but it just seemed to always happen. Like, a dozen games, then you lose one. Just maybe because there's just no dialogue past, like, 5-game winning streak or something where they actually have anything to say about it. And incidentally, we set the record for, like, most wins in a regular season ever. I checked that myself. It was 62 before. Detroit Red Wings. We won 65.
Nice. Kind
of no acknowledgement of that either. Other than you get the President's Trophy for being the best in the league that year.
Sure,
but,
yeah.
I don't know. Did you ever go through, like, a whole mode in, like, 09 or... Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I just got caught up in it, like, you know, maybe... I don't know how long I was playing, because it's so compartmentalized. Like, each game's, like, 20 minutes, but I was probably playing, like, 10, 11 games a night or something.
Good
God.
Just
giant swaths of video game hockey.
Why didn't you just go to a bar and watch hockey? Have a drink and relax a little bit.
It doesn't start up again until tomorrow. So maybe I will with round 2 or something. I don't know. But, I don't know. I just had to get that out of my system, I guess. Play some video game hockey. But, okay, through my sports digging, though, I found out this one little trivia tidbit I want to share with you. I don't know if this will mean anything to you, but I just want to. So, did you know that goalies can no longer be captains, but there was a time where they were? That was okay.
Yeah. I don't know why they changed it.
Apparently, it was essentially because captains need to confer with, like, game officials and coaches and stuff. So I think it was Bill Duran was the last one to hold the rank or whatever. This was in, like, 47, 48. And he spent so much time, like, leaving the crease and going to do that it was just, like, interrupting the game. So they changed the rules. It's just like, we should probably just not let this happen. This is too disruptive. So that was the case. Although there was a weird, like, asterisk, I guess, on this story that the Canucks did name Roberto Luongo captain, like, 6-7 years ago, but he couldn't officially hold that rank on his jersey, but he had a C painted on his helmet and was effectively captain. But I don't know, just a weird little thing. I just thought it was neat that why couldn't he be, or
no, like, why? That's fucking weird. So who did the actual, like, talking? Also, fuck Luongo as a side note. But
they kind of nominated, like, 2 assistant captain dudes to essentially perform the roles of captain.
Probably one of the fucking Sedins, because they're, like, so obsessed with sucking the Twins off. Probably one of them. Yeah, just looked it up. It is.
It is? Okay.
Yep. Of course.
Okay.
Swedish Twins.
Okay. I don't have beef with the Canucks. I just thought it was a fun
fuck the Canucks, alright?
NHL, like, trivia note. But,
also, I'm so mad
I don't know
that Edmonton is already beating Anaheim. It's fucking annoying.
Did they have a game already?
Tonight.
I thought it wasn't until tomorrow. Oh no, wait, you're right. That was today.
It's at 26. Yeah.
First game started. Okay, I got my timeline wrong. I was playing fake hockey when real hockey was going on. Oh, well.
5-3 is fucking annoying.
But Alberta Pride, right? Like, they could win another trophy.
No, fuck Edmonton. If there was a nuke to go off, I would hope it would be in Edmonton.
Like, just hope they know that it's the capital, so they think it would be more devastating.
Like, yeah, it would be the one time that Edmonton would be like, no, we're not the capital. We're not bigger than Calgary. It would be the one time they would admit it.
It's like, no, it says right here on Wikipedia. Like, I can see the legislature on Google Maps. What are you talking about? It's like, oh, fuck. Shouldn't let those cars drive around. But, yeah. That's my hockey time. It's kind of concluded for me on the video game front. I guess I got my $2 of fun out of it. But, it just starts to... You see through it after a while, and it just doesn't...
Yeah.
Because, I guess just because they let you kind of have all these different teams, and they all have to handle essentially the same way, like, it can't have that much personality that's unique or interesting for any team. So, I guess some of the, like, color commentary is tailored a bit towards, like, star players on certain teams and stuff. Like, they'll have a little bit to say about Ovechkin. But it doesn't get too detailed with that. Oh, it was a little annoying, though, because, like, I finally noticed you could edit some more details about your created player, but I couldn't save those to the player I already had going on. So I was like, I'll change his hometown to Calgary, and I'll actually, like, choose a name for them to say. Yeah. And none of that was able to carry over, so they just kept calling me, like, number 17 and whatever, like, whenever I did anything. It was too bad. His name was Bernie, and he was a great hockey player. He was Rookie of the Year.
Good old Bernie.
Good old Bernie. He was really something. So that was.
Are you, like, super into the Capitals now to win?
I kind of know more about them now, so I've appreciated the few Capitals games I've seen on. Like, they were playing the Maple Leafs last time I was eating supper and kind of saw some of that going on. I was like, oh, Backstrom's still there, cool. But there was, like, 2 names that I still recognize from the lineup for the current team, so I guess a lot has changed in the last 7 years.
'Cause, I was going to say, 6 years is, like, a full fucking career in retirement for a lot of players.
For a lot of players, yeah. So, like, this was, like, young, just started Ovechkin. Now he's, like, you know, in his 30s, and yeah. I was just reading about some of the other guys where it's, like I think it's Alexander Semen is, like...
Yeah, Seaman.
Back in Russia playing for the KHL now. And I don't... Like, there was some whole weird thing with, like, his military service and all this stuff. Like, he had to go back to Russia for a while, and that kind of disrupted his early career. And then he was here playing... Well, here on this continent playing for Washington. Yeah. But, I don't know. It was just, like, weird little factoids about these now essentially done athletes. But I guess it did make me a little curious about, like... Can people here who are just hockey crazy... Like, is there any kind of televised KHL stuff? Like, Continental Hockey League Russian games?
No.
If you're really... Okay.
Oh, like, with the dawn of the internet? Sure. But not televised here, no. Not in, like, syndication.
Like, you're just like, hey, what are tomorrow's stars? Like, who are they going to harvest from this league and bring over here with millions of dollars?
I mean,
like, I want to know before it happens.
Or you could just enjoy, like, who already is here, because they're not going to last more than, like, 10 to 20 years unless they're, like, amazing. And then they'll probably coach.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Hockey.
Good old Alexander Seaman.
Yeah, I deliberately said his name differently. But it is spelled in a way that one would presume would be pronounced Seaman.
Yeah, Seaman.
He was pretty good, though. He really helped us out.
He was. Yeah. I mean, he played for the Canadians as well.
So, Persona 3 is the other video game I've been playing. Okay. Did you try that one?
Yeah, I got bored of it. It was too grindy for me, like, right from the get-go.
Okay. I mean, just... I kind of have, like, a dual perspective on this game, because, like, Brittany is playing the PS2, like, FES edition or whatever, and she's quite a ways into it.
Sure.
And I've just started playing the Persona 3 Portable Edition, and I chose a female character because that's the distinctive thing about that version.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if they've kind of tightened things up a bit in that version, because it really seems to get going really quickly, which was kind of cool.
That's good. Maybe I should play that version then.
And that version seems to kind of simplify some of the way you interact with the game. Whenever you're in the school sections or going around the town and stuff, in the PS2 version, you're running around, you have your little guy. Here, it kind of just is a zoomed out, isometric adventure game almost, where you kind of just control this big dot and you can kind of click on different students and stuff as they're around, on the map and stuff. It's the exact same content, but it's just delivered slightly differently. So it just seems kind of faster. You just kind of float over to a door and leave and go to town or whatever. You don't actually have to run yourself around in the environment. It's pretty snappy. So I don't know. It was pretty easy to get on board, and style wise and all that kind of stuff, all the good qualities are still in there, and I'm enjoying the dungeon stuff. But I guess it's probably kind of grindy in that I think it's there's one central dungeon that you're just ascending the entire time. It's 80 floors or more or something. So all of that side of the game is pretty straightforward, I guess. But I don't know, something about just the music and style, and just having a simple mechanically anyway RPG to click through. I've been having a decent amount of fun with it, but
maybe because it's portable. Could you imagine sitting there for 80 hours doing it?
Well, I mean, Brittany is we'll kind of play it quote together. She'll be playing her story and I'll be playing mine. So it's kind of hey, what's this enemy all about or whatever. We'll kind of just swap information as it goes, but I don't know. I don't know how, knowing the game is 80 to 120 hours or whatever it is, that, I guess, is a bit daunting. So, there is that, but I don't know. It's pretty easy to pick up, put down, and, that it's compartmentalized into days of the week and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't take much to feel like you made some progress. So, I don't know. It's doing its job okay, but I'm not exactly putting off playing 5. It's just 3 has less and less chances of being ever played if I get on board with the new one, maybe. So,
yeah,
give it one more try, because I definitely loaded it up after my Persona 4 excitement initially.
Yeah,
I played a little bit.
I can't do this again.
Kinda. It's just I see this is kind of similar. Okay, that's kind of cool, but I kind of just did this. So I needed some years away from it, I guess, but
sure,
it's coming at a good time.
Sense.
I picked it up a long time ago too. I think I just bought it digitally on PSP even. So I think that purchase transferred over, and I just saw it was there amongst my games and decided to give it a look again. So, yep. Have you made much progress in 5, or how is the Persona train?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. It's Persona.
Yeah.
So, talking about it is kind of spoilery, and that's kind of what those games do well, is weird shit going on that you just experience for yourself. Which is the whole reason I was okay with Twitch banning people over doing that.
Yeah. Because that's kind of the heart of that game. I mean, if I could just ask a question or two about the nuts and bolts mechanics of it,
you've played Persona 4, it's very similar.
So each character has their own assigned persona. There's elemental strengths and weaknesses, and
you
get
what
cards, you fuse them together into a better persona.
Yeah, all of that. It's all.
Can you direct control the whole party?
I believe so. We haven't been, just because I'm kind of the back seat on it. Aaron's playing it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of, I haven't been doing a lot of the actual playing part. I'm just kind of there for use this ability and stuff like that sort of thing. Yeah.
Coaching. You're the coach.
Sure. I mean, I'm watching. I'm more like the viewer. The audience is who's able to influence what happens.
Oh, it's like weighing in on like, hey, should we fall asleep in class or whatever? Like
sure, yeah.
Little decisions that come along the way. Do you want to study tonight or go to the arcade?
Just like real school.
Yeah. It is the kind of like open world, like going around the streets and the schools and stuff. Like, is that stuff more involved than ever before? Like, are you?
It's a lot of trains.
Okay.
Which is fun.
Do you actually like? Does that take up your evening or anything? Like transiting to places or?
No, it doesn't take that stuff up. Like I know what you're talking about, where it's like, well,
you're tired
on a train, you can't do it anymore. Yeah. No.
I use this vending machine. Better go home. That took a while. Like just the weird little things that will take up your time.
No, it's pretty much the standard, like, what are you going to do after school thing? You do it. Oh, like, you better go home and, like, sleep or whatever. It is, like, the thing. It, like, depending how big the thing was for the story, mostly. If you can sleep when you get home or if you can do, like, a secondary thing. Yeah, it's exactly what you would think. Which is, in a way, kind of a bummer. Because it's like, well, kind of wish that there was just like a completely different thing, but then it's not Persona, I guess. It's
like,
probably
hope a little of that Catherine DNA gets in there, and some block puzzles or something.
But then it's like, what? I'd just rather have a Catherine 2.
Yeah.
Probably. Or like,
I don't know if I want a Catherine 2, but I would play
fair.
it, I guess. I'd probably pick it up. Although, I'm assuming there are multiple endings in Catherine. I know I've only seen one. So I guess I could just go revisit that magical thing. Give it another try.
I'm just seeing if there's been any news about a sequel for Catherine.
That would be
because I don't know. It would be. I feel like I would have heard about it by now. Yeah, there's...
We're just trying to get Persona 5 out of the way so we can get back to what's really important. Catherine 2. Everyone's been demanding it. Like, people love the pillow covers. We know that. And, like, we're definitely working on something. It's going to be great.
There's an article from 2013 that says, literally, in giant letters, Catherine's sequel won't be happening anytime soon, according to Atlas. Then, apparently what they said, PR manager at Atlas said, there's nothing planned. I don't think the game's ending set it up for any kind of sequel, maybe to have it a prequel or spiritual successor kind of thing, question mark. But yeah, it's awesome. It would be totally cool. But
that was in, like, the wake of the game coming out, right? So, like, you'd be saying positive, cool things about it, but it's like,
sure.
Come on, it's a crazy puzzle game. Like,
yeah.
I don't think so. But,
right.
Yeah.
And, like... I don't know. When I say sequel, I don't mean, like, these characters again. I just mean, like, a Catherine 2, like, a spiritual successor would have been...
like, just some weird, surreal thing like that?
Like puzzle thing where you're talking in a bar to people, or, like, the same kind of bullshit is happening, but, like, in a different way, or something similar. Kind of like how Persona is kind of the same thing every time, but not.
Different school, different... general scenario.
Like, different shit happening, basically. Yeah.
Different supernatural craziness. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah. So you're liking Persona 3?
Yeah. I hope my interest persists, but
yeah.
I don't know what to really get into otherwise, like, now that NHL is kind of finished for me.
Well, Dark Souls, I thought...
I might venture back. I did have a bit of a rough time with what was it? I know I defeated the ceaseless, what is that thing? The big fire thing. Ceaseless discharge. I killed that guy. Where did I run into trouble?
Was it on a boss or in a level?
I mean, it would have been shortly after that, like venturing back up. What comes next after you ring the two bells? Oh yeah, Sen's Fortress, those stupid lizard men.
Oh yeah, we actually talked about this last time too.
Yeah. I just kind of stalled out there just because it just takes a while to get back in there and climb up again. So I don't know. I just got disheartened. But
what about going through Dark Souls 2? Because you haven't finished that one, right?
I have not finished that one. in my recent complaints of it, a friend told me that I guess you lose HP every time you die. And
yeah, of course you do.
Oh, well, but, like, can you restore it?
We talked about this when you were playing it. Yeah, you use a humanity, and you get all of it back right away.
Oh, okay. That's not a big deal, then. Like, it'll fill all the way back up again. It's not...
So, basically, what you're doing...
constant deterioration.
...is, if you're hollowed, just stay in hollow form, dog, until you get to the bonfire before the boss, use a humanity, then do the boss. It's no big deal. And you don't lose it all the way till nothing. You get one shot. You lose it until it's, like... you're starting HP, basically. Like, when it's very small.
Maybe that's why it didn't seem like that big of an issue. Like,
because my really?
My things with it were still just, like, one Estus Flask and warping. Just seemed to kind of take some of the magic out of it for me, but...
yeah,
I'll give it another try.
It's very much like... It's weird, because it's not like you're just going through, like, this land... or, like, this area of this land. You're, like... trekking across it or something, which is why the warping is necessary, because it doesn't all fold back into each other nicely, which is like,
okay,
I agree, the worst part about Dark Souls 2. Like, you can tell that game was not made by the same dudes, for sure.
Mm-hmm. They just didn't have the same interests in mind for how to set it up.
Yeah, pretty much. But
I mean, I enjoyed a couple of the bosses I faced. Like, I thought the first one was pretty neat, that strange giant.
Okay.
Yeah. But...
the last giant, to be completely clear.
Guy.
You find out, like, later on what happened in that area, which is kind of dope as hell.
Oh, okay. And I fought a big legion of rats or whatever, but there was one guy that...
rats.
I think it's like the Pursuer or something. I hated him.
Oh, dude, fuck the Pursuer.
I was having so much trouble with that guy. I was just like, I think this is next, but I don't know what to do. It's not fun. I'm having a real tough time. But I did enjoy the visual upgrade for that one, because I'm playing the PS4 edition. So it's just kind of like, wow, this looks really nice, like on occasion, compared to the 360 version of Dark Souls 1. So yeah, I don't know. I'm open to that. I have Bloodborne installed. I can try that sometime, but...
yeah, I've been meaning to get to Bloodborne at some point, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The things I've seen of it does not look like the type of gameplay style I like.
Like, it's weirdly fast, or what is it?
Using the gun as a parry instead of, like, being able to just be, like, a knight dude. Because it's not, like, a fantasy setting, right? It's, like, an eldritch horror.
No, it's more... yeah.
So, like, it doesn't make sense for you to be a knight in hulking armor with a giant, like, tower shield that's as big as you... like, I like that shit. I like playing the giant knight that, like, takes a bunch of hits and then swings his sword stupidly and takes, like, the boss's health down to half in one hit.
I mean, I guess I get vague Castlevania vibes from, like, the Soul series in general, and this just seems to be more gothic kind of stuff. So, like, some of the weapons and stuff I was seeing my friend using just seemed like, just crazy scythes and, like, chainsaws or something.
And the bosses are cool. Wheel. It's just everything in between. I just don't like how the, like, gameplay loop looks of, like, you fighting the small dudes, because the boss fights in Bloodborne look absolutely amazing from the ones I've seen. So maybe I'll get to it. Maybe
I guess I haven't really
we could play at the same time and, like, talk about,
just confirm, like, oh, I got to this area. Yeah, maybe if you want to let me know when you're starting it up, I can.
Well, because it'll be motivation.
We're playing on the same platform too, so we could probably co-op in that. I don't know how that works. I've never looked into it in that game. It's funny
because when you talk about co-op at all, you sound so, like, put out. Like, right away.
You could join up with people, like Guild Wars or something? I don't know. Like Dead Rising 2?
I've been actually wanting to play Dark Souls 1 on PC again, because there's, like, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's literally just called Sweet Effects mod, and, like, some mods you can do to make that game look, like, absolutely fantastic. And I kind of want to see if I can get all that working to get that old game that runs at a bad resolution on PC to, like, run, first of all, at 1080p, and then, like,
And 60.
It adds some lighting effects and stuff. I've seen somebody play it with like sweet effects, and I'm just like, oh, this is a game changer. It looks so nice. So I've been looking into maybe doing that, but I don't know. Like, I still have to do Dark Souls 3 again because I lost my dude. However the fuck that happens, because I thought cloud saving was a thing, but I don't know. We could probably play Bloodborne the same time at some point, probably.
Okay. Do you own a physical copy, or did you pick it up digitally?
No, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick up a physical copy. I don't like doing digital on the PS4 because I don't want to buy an upgraded hard drive.
Oh yeah. No, mine's almost full all the time. It's kind of annoying.
I mean, but, from the little I have, it's almost full all the time. So, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just like a really sweet sale at a point when I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, oh man, $20. Like, all right. Like, it was something like that.
That's good.
I was just like, okay, yeah, all right. I'll pick that up right now. But,
I mean, I bought Destiny in store because it was selling for $10. So I was like, yeah, I'll play that. I'll try that game people talked about. And, it's not very good. It's kind of boring.
No? Like, you got the patched up version where they got rid of Peter Dinklage and all that kind of stuff?
Oh, I don't know about that, but sure, probably.
Okay. I've never... I mean, I don't want to say never. Like, there was obviously some curiosity, just like, oh, Bungie's new thing. Like, I guess I was on board the Halo train for a while. But then when it came out, there was such a, like, tepid, kind of irritated shrug. Like, it was like, I'm still playing it, but I hate this. Like, it was like this weird feedback on that game where I was like, I don't want to get pulled into a weird gambling addiction or whatever's going on here, so I'll stay away.
Have you ever played Warframe?
No.
It's kind of similar to how that game does stuff. Basically what it is, it's like you have a few quests to do, so you go to that planet, you do them, and then, like, you get more quests, so you go back to that planet and do them, and everything's still the same, so you're doing the same part over and over again. Whereas, like, the reason that's okay in Halo is because Halo is you're playing through a campaign, and you're, like, consistently doing, like, you're working through a story or you're playing deathmatch. This is kind of like, I don't know, you're doing, like, World of Warcraft dailies or something. It's fucking annoying. It's boring.
Grindy and...
Grindy, for sure, yeah. But, like, it feels good, and it's cool. So there's that. That's not enough to keep me going.
Have you fought any bosses? Or...
No, I haven't. Apparently that's the thing to do, right? Is to do a raid. But, like...
I guess, although I'd kind of heard fighting the bosses just like, yeah, you just kind of shoot it a lot. Like, there's
That's
not
what
a
I
lot
figured,
of,
kind of like Borderlands. That's why I found Borderlands bosses boring as shit, too.
Yeah. But, hey, they're making another one, and Nathan Fillion is a robot or something? I don't
And it's going to be on PC, so I'm probably going to get it.
That was the thing. I kind of spaced out that the first one never actually did make its way to PC. Because I thought that was the promise for a long time. But then, I guess it just never came to fruition, which I stopped paying attention to, so... Yeah.
I mean, it probably was a promise until they were just like, you know what, let's just do the next one. Like, fuck doing this shit on PC. Because I'm guessing they probably started making Destiny 2 or whatever the hell it's called. I think it's just called that probably a couple years ago at least. So by that point, they were probably just like, no, let's just make the next one on PC. Don't worry about, like, making the DLC work and the old versions of Destiny 1 and all that stuff. It makes sense to me from a business standpoint why they didn't do it, but it, like, I probably would have been more into it at that time, for sure, because I would have been able to play it and I would have cared more. But, like, even when people were talking about raiding, it's like, motherfucker, have you never played an MMO? Like, raiding is not the greatest thing. It's kind of shitty sometimes, so... But, oh, no, I'm a console pleb. I don't get to have experiences that you've had for years. Well, fair enough.
This conversation really happened. That was read from a transcript. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was just this guy on the train.
I just read the transcript, exactly.
Like, you both had a GameStop bag on the train and kind of, hey, what you got there?
Has that ever happened to you? Because that would, like, kill me if it happened to me.
No, I mean, I've certainly internally, like, oh, that guy's playing Mario and Luigi, like, Bowser's Inside Story, and, like, okay. Like, just noticing what someone's playing and kind of being curious, but not wanting to cross that barrier with strangers.
It always reminds me of, like, that. Have you ever seen American Pie?
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. It always reminds me of that, like, awkward moment where Nadia is, like, masturbating in whatever Jason Biggs' name, his character's room, while he's, like, watching with his friends over the webcam. They're like, you should go over there and, like, get in on this or whatever. And he just, like, awkwardly opens the door and he's like, looks like you could use a hand or whatever. And it's, like, the weirdest and, like, cringiest shit ever. That's what I think of whenever it's, like somebody,
hey,
like,
what game you playing there?
Yeah, playing a game.
What is that? It's just like, please stay away from me.
Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
You just see the dude die. It's like, looks like you could use a hand.
Yeah. I'm an expert on RPGs, yeah.
Yeah.
I did see a guy playing, like, with a full laptop on his lap on a bus one time.
I've seen that before, too.
Alright, just going for it. That's kind of cool.
It's respectable. Yeah.
Or, like, glancing over at a PSP and it's clearly an emulator. It's happened a couple times. And it's just like, okay. I heard that was easy. I never did that. But, okay. Thought it would be Pursuit Force, but it wasn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. But yeah, all internal. I never crossed that barrier with gaming folks out and about.
Yeah, good. That means you're not a psychopath.
Yeah. I guess street passing is like the fun, anonymous way people can do that. Like just like, hey, I've been playing this, and this robot emissary of mine will tell you that.
That's actually the appropriate way to do interacting with human beings in any regard. I've been using the Starbucks app to get my coffee. It's beautiful. I don't have to say a goddamn thing except picking up for Paul, and then I get it. I get all my coffee.
Like you've paid for it. You've chosen all
everything.
Your tweaks. And everything.
I'm just picking it up. Yeah, it's all good.
That does sound okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. That Starbucks app I have to recommend. I don't recommend that unicorn drink, though. That shit is gross.
What is it? Is it a cold drink? Is it like berry stuff? Okay. Sorry, just feathering back a little bit to like, man, part of the reason I couldn't play Destiny anyway would be my video card isn't powerful enough. Oh no, woe is me. I'm just trying to bring up the hot hype train that is the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
You tried playing
craze. It. I looked into purchasing it and fortunately checked the requirements before I did anything and was like, oh, I can't actually play this. But I'm very curious about it because I got very curious about DayZ back when that happened and never had any fun with it ever. But it's a cool idea, sort of, like high stakes multiplayer arena kind of thing. And zeroing in on the Battle Royale angle has appealed to me. So I was definitely curious about it, but we're not quite there hardware-wise. I think it's literally just our video card, though, so we might upgrade in the near future and try to get on this train before it's over. I mean, it's still in early access, so it's not like this is going away.
Can I ask you why? Like, why this one?
Why this one?
Because there's one of these every year. Like, why now? Is this... I'm just curious.
Like, should I just get the H1Z1 King of the Hill or something?
No, not necessarily. This is the one most people are playing, so you'll get games quicker.
Right.
There's a reason to be part of the zeitgeist. I'm just talking about, like, the reason I haven't gotten it is because I don't want to pay $40 for a game I've played every year. Like I've purchased every fucking year for the last, 5 years again.
I guess, but I haven't. So, is Rust...
Right.
Similar, or the only time I bought in on this was hearing about DayZ back when it was a mod. I picked up Arma 2 and whatever expansion stuff was needed for that in order to get that mod, and then I played it a couple times and was just like, I guess I understand why this is the thing, but I don't want to team up with anybody, and I don't know. This is all just kind of shitty. Like, I just kind of wandered away from it. But
okay, no,
hearing the pitch was intriguing to me, and similarly,
who did you hear the pitch
I've heard
from?
the pitch on this one a couple times, and it piqued my interest a bit, I guess. So, like, just that it's counting down. Like, if the more you kill, like, the better you are, kind of thing. Like, if you can win the championship, like that kind of weird, game.
You're more likely to win if you, like, actually avoid fights until the end and you're geared out.
Right. But hey, I don't mind hiding
sure.
places either. Like tense hide and seek game. That sounds kind of crazy too.
No, I think if you're going to get in on one of these games, this is the one to do it for sure, because it's the one that's getting the most updates. I think it's getting like weekly updates. So they obviously are like trying to keep the hype they have going.
Keep a big community and like all this positive stuff.
It has the big community. It has people playing it for sure. Like, this is definitely the one to get in on for sure if you want to get in on it. Yeah, I was just asking from your perspective, like, why this one primarily. But yeah, this is totally the one because people are playing it.
In a dumb way, like, the only, like, remotely comparable thing I can say I've played, and it's not quite the same, but it's kind of the same, is Slither.io, that, like, giant snake thing. Yeah. Where it's just like, hey, there's, like, hundreds of you on here, and there's, like, a leaderboard. And it's just, you want to climb that leaderboard as high as you can, and it's just kind of this, like, you are going to die, but you want to be king of the game. Like, you want to be the guy. And I've never made it to all the way to the top in that game, but, like, top 5, I think, once. I was pretty happy with that. So, I don't know, just something about that weird, like, pure competition is part of the appeal for this. Like, you know how good you are because
I'm going to be real with you. I'm a little annoyed you're talking about this game. The reason being...
Because it's so hyped right now, or...
The reason being that if you got it, I would actually buy it to play with you.
Okay.
You're like one of the few people that could actually get me to buy this stupid game, because we don't play games really together that much. And, like...
It's been some time, yeah. Like, I was briefly on the Payday 2 train.
Because I know a lot of people play this game. Like, my friends list is full of people playing this fucking game, and I'm still like, nah, whatever. But if I saw you playing it, I'd be like, yo, let's do this.
Okay.
And it's annoying to me. Cause
I can't right now, so if we do make the necessary upgrades and get to that point. And then I guess I can also catch up on, like, other hot PC business of the last couple years.
Yeah. No, like, PC gaming in general has taken off again in what you need hardware-wise. Ever since they released the 1060, 1070, and 1080 for NVIDIA, like, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, that are kind of, like, they're way more powerful than their other cards have been for, like, pretty cheap. Like, they're very consumer-friendly for, like, a lot more power than their cards have been for a while. Like, it's just kind of made people start making games that require more, and it's fucking annoying because I'm gonna have to do the same pretty soon too. I can feel.
Like,
I hate
get
it.
near that ceiling. Like,
I'm
been playing, like,
getting there.
Some of this year's titles on there though. Like, did Resident Evil 7 run pretty sharp, or?
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 works fine until I try to stream it. Then, like, computer resources are being taken up.
Loss and stuff. Okay.
But, like, yeah, just playing the game for sure is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if there's any, like, remotely recent titles that I've been playing on there. It's usually older stuff. I haven't had to... I mean, I guess I could properly play Dead Rising 3 finally, if I did that too. I think it's at a point where it would just look kind of crappy, so I haven't.
That's
really
a game we could play together
looking
too.
Into it. Does it have? I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't played it. I do own it because I think I got it in a Humble bundle. But
a Capcom bundle of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
something to look into, I guess, at some point. What card are you running right now?
Oh, I can't remember as of right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Like, that's really Brittany's domain. She built the thing, so She's more up on that stuff than I am.
Gotcha.
I just poke at it and I won't play the games and this circle is yellow. I can't play it. Like just getting
this circle is yellow.
Yep.
I think
the only other talking point I have on here. Mm-hmm. Oh, if it's yellow, I didn't actually run a diagnostic thing for PlayerUnknown. I just read the specs and.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
The only other talking point I have on here is Cincinnati chili.
I don't even know what the fuck this means.
Okay, I thought this was just like a known thing widely that Cincinnati is incredibly proud of their chili recipe.
See, I thought that this was like a disgusting sex act.
Sex move? No, this is just. And
I was a little more interested, and now you lost me.
Sorry, this is just a good-hearted. Like this is just a chili recipe. This is a really, this could be on a Martha Stewart episode or something. This is a very. Clean
I'm actually
segment.
looking it up right now.
Okay. It was kind of a running joke in Anomalisa, the Kaufman movie that came out last year, about just like, that's kind of the only thing distinctive about Cincinnati is everybody will tell you the chili's really great. And I don't know, I just decided to like gather together those ingredients and give it a go. And it's pretty good. It's spicy, but not in like a hot way. It's just varied. There's a lot of different like seasonings in it. I had to buy allspice berries and cloves in order to make it. Also, baking chocolate. There's chocolate in it. It's got no beans in it. Like, it's kind of crazy. But
have you ever eaten baking chocolate thinking it was like just normal chocolate? It's the worst.
I haven't nibbled on any of the stuff I've purchased, but I could give it a little try and see what you mean. But maybe as a kid or something, like, get excited at the notion of chocolate in the kitchen and just like, all right, here you go. I don't have a flavor memory of that being disappointing, though, so I can't say for sure. Is it just flavorless and not at all what you'd hope? Or is it dark chocolate?
I feel like it has flavor because it, like, adds to cooking, right? It's made to, like, flavor
It's made
stuff.
To imbue things with flavor, yeah, but it doesn't have sugar, I guess, maybe.
But it's not it's not a flavor I wanted in my mouth, like full force, I guess. It's kind of this weird, like, bland, almost like if dark chocolate didn't have, like, the sweetness to it. It just had that, like, bitter, just straight bitter.
Just bitter? Like, straight bitter? Yeah, okay. That doesn't sound great. But, no. Simmered in a chili for, like, 3 hours, it worked out. It helped out. There's cinnamon in it. I don't know. It was just a very different chili recipe than recipes I usually have. And you serve it over spaghetti, which I was into as well.
I hate spaghetti as well, so.
Oh, yeah. This is definitely... Okay. Well, all right. I've enjoyed it. I just wanted to mention that because that was a sort of distinctive thing. And this otherwise super tepid, lukewarm week. That's kind of all I have.
Yeah,
for,
the warm
happenings.
Pocket.
A warm pocket.
The pocket's warm. Did you ever see Get Out? This is one thing I'll talk about quick. I saw Get Out.
I did. I saw it right when it came out. So it's been a little bit, but yeah.
And you liked it, which you were happy about because you didn't want to be the guy that hated the
I didn't want
to
be racist. Yeah, that would have been wrong. Did you like
I hated it.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. It was very good.
Yeah. The TSA coming to the rescue. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah. That character in general is like...
Actually, I enjoyed just really like Stephen Root talking to you on this old wood panel television. Like there's something neat about that.
When he's talking to whatever the fuck his name is. Main character.
Yeah. Main character. Yeah. When he's talking to the
MC,
guy.
When he's talking to MC. Yeah. Yeah, no, that part's pretty good. Like, I think it's the fact that they kept the atmosphere creepy the whole time. The characters really felt like they were like psychopaths hiding something. Like, it was very well acted, I felt, from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Except for what's her name, Keener, because I fucking hate that bitch, and she just she looks the same in every. I hate her.
Why? What? I actually
She's terrible.
Oh, man. All right. I kind of like Catherine Keener. But, okay.
Okay.
I was happy she was there. She's stirring her tea, she's hypnotizing people.
I mean, she was fine as being a psycho, I guess.
Or like being John Malkovich. All right.
I don't actually remember that movie very well. I forgot she was in it.
Sure. Hey, that's the second Kaufman thing for me this week. All right, I won't press on that. I just find it weird that that's a person you take exceptions to specifically, because like okay. she's just kind of in some things. She's okay. How do you get mad at her? But okay.
I hate her face. I hate her stupid
you hate
face.
Her face.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid
Let's stop.
Face.
Well, that's all right.
Stupid.
What about Bradley Whitford? Like, let's just move on.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
I started playing it up a little bit, but
okay.
Yeah, no. I thought like it was all very well acted, and they kind of just go for it, man. Like they kind of go for the weird shit that's happening, and
like once the penny drops or whatever, like once it's known.
Well, once he literally drops through the floor, and you're just oh Jesus, okay, here we go. Things are happening now. Like, yeah, because even before then, it's like uncomfortable, but it's uncomfortable in the way that it would be bringing your black boyfriend to your white parents' house who have slaves, essentially. Like, it's like a weird, like, cringiness. But like,
so there's like a
point,
social tension, but you're not fearing for your life.
And then at that point, it's like, oh no, shit's real. Like, this is bad now. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty engaging. It's been doing extraordinarily well at the box office,
and
just
it
keeps
should.
Raking it in.
It's very, very good. I really, really like when comedians do stuff like this, like when they let their dark side out a little bit. Yeah,
okay.
I think Homer or Hank or whatever you want to call him, I think he put it best when we were talking about it. That like he really like how comedians have a timing for everything because they're used to telling jokes and like hitting certain punchlines and like that sort of thing. He was saying like I really like it when they focus that in something with tension because like it feels like they just like are able to hit certain notes with like the people that are watching, and like it's when it works out very well. It has like an energy to it that's different than when like a horror guy does horror. It's cool though. I like it.
Even just like music choices and stuff. Like they like for me, like the thing that's lingered from that movie the most is that rabbit song that's in it. Like, what is it? Run, rabbit, run, 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 run. Like it's just this weird old song that plays during any of like the kind of stalking stuff. It's with like the younger son always has it playing. I don't know. There's like an oddness to it, but sorry, I feel like I'm like diluting your point about the comic timing being twisted into a dark way. So sorry,
that wasn't even really my point. I just really like liked that point when he was saying it. Like I didn't really consider it, but yeah, it does have like a pacing to it that feels like it feels the same as if like a comedian was hitting like jokes or whatever. They're like hitting,
and that's when the deer jumps out of the forest or whatever. Like
that's when the deer comes out. That's when there's like the racist cop, and this is when like you see that like he's finally feeling comfortable with this white girl's white dad, and then there's like a black maid, and then they go outside, and then there's another black dude, and then the black maid's looking at them in the window. Like there's just like I don't know, there's an energy to it that I really, really appreciate and like quite a bit because it doesn't feel like a horror movie. Like horror movies, they're always trying to do like a jump scare or something. And I think this was very much like, I like that it's able to build tension without resorting to cheap gimmicks that a lot of horror and thrillers and stuff do.
That's actually something I felt the trailer really undersold or presented poorly. Cause like, it's full of jump scare type shit. Like the music kind of just swells up in the trailer a lot, and I was just like, I don't think this movie looks very good. And then the critical like feedback came back and was like, 100%, this is amazing. I was like, all right, I guess I'll give it a try. But yeah, the marketing really didn't do it for me, but I guess whatever, it worked out in its favor, however it panned out, because it's making all the money. But yeah, I guess sort of connected to that, I saw Keanu this past week, like Jordan Peele and Keegan Michael Key's movie from earlier no, it was last year. I think it was last summer. It's that comedy with the cat.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I saw kind of like another movie related to that, but he actually co-stars in it and everything. It's very much in line with like Key and Peele kind of stuff, but it's like a larger
It looks
skit.
dumb as shit, but I'm kind of
It's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb, but they kind of lean into some of the dumb things pretty well. Like, they call themselves out on leaps of logic and stupid stuff. Like, it's about a kitten, and there's a point where they jump in time, like, 6 months, but then they just kind of, and you're just like, wait, why is it still a kitten? And then they have a joke written to explain why that is the case. And it was like, okay, at least you know. At least you noticed as well. It's kind of dumb, though, because...
an image down in our Discord chat here. That makes me want to see this movie. Yeah,
they have guns, and there's a kitten in it a lot. I don't know if I think he does wear this hat as well as a chain at one point.
Yeah, I'm looking at
the movie
screenshots or whatever from the movie, and it's the cutest fucking thing. So yeah.
No, it was a totally like pleasant little watch, but it kind of inconsequential. It's a buddy comedy or whatever. But there was one thing I was kind of like going into the movie with a faulty perception of. I'd heard there was a creepy warehouse with rock-afire explosion robots in it, and I was really into that idea. Like, I was like, why does that happen? What the hell? And it's just totally not a factor. Like, it's true. There is a scene that takes place in a warehouse with like all these pizza robots in the background and everything, but that's it. There's no acknowledgement of it. They don't do anything. Like, it's just kind of a weird warehouse to have your scene take place in, but they don't really do anything with that.
They don't go with it, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, because I'd heard that was a thing, I kind of had expectations for that scene, so when it played out the way it did, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, well, I saw a weird robot in the background, so that's nice, but I don't know. Just a dumb thing. Just, that's where my head was at, was I'm going to see silly robots, and that wasn't the point of the movie at all. It was about a cat, and these two guys who find a cat, and then drug dealers, like Will Forte's in it as a drug dealer guy.
I don't love that guy either, but I don't really have anything against him, I guess.
Oh, I think the director of the film works on his show, like Last Man on Earth or whatever, so that's probably the connection there. But, I don't know. It's very, gag heavy, and some of them are funny. And, lukewarm recommendation for this lukewarm episode.
It's pretty lukewarm.
I'm sorry, I don't have any more.
Hot. There's no hot at all.
I mean, I recommended some spicy chili, but that's kind of.
But with spaghetti, I mean, I'd rather have a new Kit Calgary.
Oh,
that needs spaghetti. It's pretty.
That's hyperbolic.
And super self-serving.
Like, it's just starchy, like noodles.
I'd rather this whole city go up in flames and radiation than
ramen has noodles in it. What's wrong with the noodles?
I actually hate ramen noodles that aren't like actually made by like the ramen place, like cup
so like
of noodles or something. Yeah, fuck that shit.
Okay.
I'll eat it if I have to, because I mean, there was a time in my life where it was dinner, like most nights, because, money was tight. So that's been a thing. But maybe that's why I hate it. Because spaghetti was too, as well, like growing up.
Oh, sure. I've definitely eaten copious amounts of spaghetti. So this is a fun new spin on spaghetti for me, and a fun new spin on chili combined into one dish. So that's why I'm excited.
I mean, I like chili. I think for the problem is beans. Is that I don't like beans. That's why
there are no beans in this recipe.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm looking at this recipe, and it actually looks like it's perfect for me, because I fucking hate beans.
Okay.
I hate them. I hate them.
It's got my endorsement. Just if that means anything to you, culinary wise.
Sure. I mean, I ate at Gagana this week. I'm hip. I'm with it.
Have you tried their curry menu yet, or?
Yeah, we did actually. It's pretty okay. Yeah. I'm not a huge curry eater a lot of times, but like, it was good. It was good curry. It's a good version of that. I don't know. I'm happy with just ramen though. That's why I go to a ramen place. So,
Yeah, I know. It's just, not a lot of people locally serve Japanese style curry, so we were kind of excited that someone was taking a crack at it, and they seem to have done okay. They're almost overthinking it, though.
So,
if I have any criticism, they're overthinking what they're doing with the curry. Because, on their menu, they just have a picture of a plate, rice, curry, there's some meat in the center. It's very plainly presented. But then they in practice, they have it in, a bento box, and they have, a salad in there, and they have, all these fixins, and maybe put some cabbage under it, and all this kind of stuff, all these dressings and, garnishes, and it's nah, you just need an ocean of curry and a thing of rice and some meat. It's really easy. You don't need to sweat it, but...
That's how they serve it. It's just in a bento box.
I know. No, but, the first time I had it there, they were still kind of tweaking some of the stuff, so I had, a plate and then some other stuff on the side. They kind of had it on several plates. So they've consolidated it into one, handy way of delivering it all to you, I guess. But you're kind of then spooning the curry out of a, one bucket onto another instead of just it's all there. I don't know. It's a minor nitpick thing. It's just in... some of the places we went to in Japan, it's just the easiest distribution. It's almost like fast food. They're not sweating it there. They're just here you go. Here, plate of curry. $10, whatever. This is kind of making it complicated for some reason. So, I don't know. For presentation points or something. We're going to continue to review this local restaurant.
Yeah.
Until everyone takes a trip out and tries it out, so... this week's sponsor, Gagana Ramen.
There's probably better ramen in Calgary. I just don't kind of want to go out of my way to find it. And the thing is that if, there could be amazing ramen in this place that I've never heard before, but it could be bad. And then, then I just wasted, $15 on a bowl of shitty fucking tepid, wet noodles.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Fuck that.
Whereas this is reliably good, and I will give it points for that, for sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
You're taking a blind shot when you try out something else, so...
And it's fine taking a blind shot, but...
I've tried a couple places locally, and this is my favorite of those. It also happens to be near where I am, but...
Well, that's kind of it, right? Is that there's probably...
At least I don't have to go downtown.
Yeah.
There could be, but I don't know.
Probably
I've staked my claim. I've planted my flag.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna last. That place is never full.
I don't know. I feel like they seem to have some confidence anyway. They were talking about another location in Edmonton, so
maybe they're talking about moving to Edmonton themselves, not
that
another
would be so
location.
Sad.
Just
them. No. One day I drive down there and it's just gone. It says move to Edmonton.
All I know is that I've been there many nights on weekdays at around 5:30 and 6 supper time, and there's nobody in there. I'm the only one eating.
That's happened to me too, but I kind of like it. But I also like shopping at Target because there was nobody there, and now they're gone.
Right.
So I know what you mean.
Yeah, but that's exactly the point.
But then occasionally I'm there, and a big group shows up. So it's happened. Well, maybe they just have hot nights that we haven't been privy to, but. Anyway.
Maybe. Gagana Ramen. There you
Gagana Ramen. Check it out when in Calgary.
Apparently we're
thanks for listening.
About it every time. So.
I don't know if there's anything else we have, really. So thanks for listening to this abbreviated episode. If you have Hot Pocket suggestions, they gotta be spicy though. They got not like tariffs. If the word tariff is in it, probably isn't outrageous enough.
One of the things I literally said is How has Trump not bombed anything new in the last week? Come on, I need show topics. Like,
like 2 Moab bombs or whatever, like something.
Yeah, give me something, Trump. You're only good for one thing, and you're failing hardcore right now.
He's golfing somewhere, whatever.
Yep, just like the Calgary Flames.
Oh yeah.
Bringing it
See you next time. Yeah.
Bye.